All these filters right here. That thing got glass packed on it.
Somehow, everybody becomes a mechanic on GT 500 as soon as you pick one up on the list. In this video, I want to tell you guys about all the things that I like and all the things that I don't like about this car. First thing we should start with probably is the engine in this thing. The engine in this thing is a 5.2 liter supercharged V8. This is the 5.2 Predator. It is different, however, from the 5.2 Voodoo engine in the GT 350s and the 350Rs that come out a little bit prior to the GT 500. The differences in these engines is that the 5.2 Predator that's in the 500 does not have a flat plane crank. It does not rev as high as what the flat plane crank 5.2 Voodoo engine does in the GT 350. It's a bad thing probably for power of the motor, but you're not accounting for the supercharger. I believe that's why they changed crankshafts, because flat plane cranks do not usually mix well with boosted engines. Probably won't believe me if I tell you, but this thing makes 760 horsepower from the factory and 625 feet-pound of torque. I drove it myself, and I am here to tell you it is a man. For an everyday driver, this thing is ridiculous. It would definitely get you in some trouble if you're like me. 0 to 60 time on this car is actually under 3.5 seconds. That is insanely fast. This thing is even better on the top end though. It has top speeds, I'm sure, that reach above 160 miles per hour. Yes, we're very powerful, but I will tell you, we do sacrifice some things for all this power. This car weighs 4,200 pounds, which for a unibody car is absolutely ridiculous. Behind this engine, we have a 7-speed dual clutch transmission. This means that this is a manual transmission that is automatically shifted by a computer. We've been doing this for a long time. Actually, BMW and Mercedes have been doing it even longer. Ford has done it in the Focus with a dry clutch. Terrible idea. I cannot tell you. If you've owned the Ford Focus, you know what I'm talking about. This dual clutch transmission in this car is actually a wet clutch design over the dry clutch design that was in the Focuses. Much better design. I do not foresee us actually having issues with this thing. Not really excited about building one. Not a real good manual transmission guy. This 7-speed transmission, to my surprise, shifted very, very, very well. Backed it off the lot earlier. It is very funny when you're trying to take off, especially if you're like trying to back up an incline. It almost sounds, and it really is what it's doing, it's riding the clutch, just like you would be if you were trying to back up a hill or pull up a hill real slowly in a manual vehicle. So that is probably one downside to this transmission. Another insane spec on this 7-speed Tremec transmission is that it has the capability of shifting as fast as 80 milliseconds. I don't even know anything about milliseconds. I don't know anything about milliseconds, but Google told me that 80 milliseconds is actually less than 1/10 of a second. So that's pretty fast. I wasn't gonna put this in here, you know, crate part number or how much a crate engine costs, so we don't care. It's a brand new car, but it kind of astounded me just a little bit. This engine, if you wanted to buy a crate engine from Ford and drop this thing into your Ford Pinto, super cool idea. If you do that, by the way, please, please, please send me some video of you doing it. I would love to see. This engine costs new from Ford in a crate $29,000. A couple of the added features you can put on this car whenever you order them new from Ford. The first one I wanted to mention is the carbon fiber track pack. This thing is $18,500. Sounds like a lot of money to spend for any package, but I will tell you, these carbon fiber wheels in this thing are sick. I love these carbon fiber wheels. Just please, please, please don't scratch them, because they are about $4,000 a piece. If you're into racing stripes, painted stripes on Mustangs, which I know a lot of you probably are, I hate to break it to you, they are an extra $10,000 on top of the price of the car. Have no idea why painted stripes cost 10 grand. If you bring it to me, I'll do it for half that with a rattle can, and I guarantee it looks better than whatever them robots are pumping out up there in Dearborn. A couple things I want to talk about here on the actual car. The differential cooling. This is something that you do not see on very many makes and models. Differential cooling is for performance usually only. You're only gonna find it on performance vehicles. That is a very, very nice added feature, because whenever you start getting up to speeds and a lot of torque, you're gonna be putting a lot of extra heat on that differential. So the extra cooling capacity that it has back there in the back, extra radiator and the extra coolant and everything that flows back there, is a huge, huge improvement. Very good system on this car is the brake system. This thing has Brembo brakes in the front and the rear, has 16.5-inch rotors in the front, which is massive, 14.5-inch rotors in the rear, which is also massive. That's bigger than most front rotors on everyday vehicles anyways, and those are in the rear. Something I really like to see on cars, because I'm very adamant about, if you're gonna go fast, you need to be able to stop fast. If you're gonna go fast and I pull out in front of you because I'm not paying attention, you need to be able to stop it. Don't want you totaling out my Chevy Silverado with your piece of junk Mustang. Just don't do it. This is, according to Ford, the fastest vehicle they have ever built for the road. I'm assuming the only thing probably faster would be the Ford GT that they built. What's that shit they did? Le Mans, the Le Mans, you know, out there with them Italians. So when I was doing research on some of the facts about this car, Also found out that it has a $2,600 gas guzzler tax on this car. So whenever you buy a brand new one, if the price is 100 grand, you can already go ahead and assume you're gonna have to pay all those extra taxes and fees that you would normally have to pay, plus an extra $2,600 gas guzzler tax. The starting price on these things, bare bone with none of the added packages, is probably around $80,000. They get up probably somewhere close to 110 on sticker price with all the added packages. This is just like the Raptor Bronco that I have a video coming out on. You're probably not gonna be able to get one of these. You're almost guaranteed probably not going to get one of these, and if you can get one, you're probably going to end up spending somewhere between $20,000 to $30,000 over list. This is because there aren't any of them to be had. There is hundreds and thousands of people that want them, and the cars just aren't out there. So if it's a basic supply and demand, if there's a bunch of the cars and not very many people want them, the price will go down. If there's not many of the cars and a bunch of people want them, the price is going to go up. That's including new vehicles. Yes, dealers do not have to sell you new vehicles off the sticker price. It's selling for any price that we want. So that is the Mustang GT 500. These cars are awesome. If I could afford one, I'd buy it. If I could find one, I would probably buy it. If I could find one for a good price, I would definitely buy it. This is probably the most exhilarating fun I've had in a car in a long time when I drove it the other day. And I don't get excited very much about cars because I've drove so many over the years. This one though, it really caught me off guard. The interior, exterior, everything about this car I almost like. There's a few things I'm not a big fan of, but for the most part, I'd say good job for it. This is a very good car if you're looking for a, show up to the dealership and go to the straight to the drag strip when you leave there kind of car. Highly recommend buying one if you can. That's gonna wrap us up for this video. I appreciate you guys watching. If you will, leave me a like down there on the video. That really helps the channel out. If you're not subscribed already, I don't know why. If you're on Fords, man, you need to be subscribed to this channel. I'm telling you, I'm gonna save you some money. As always, thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace. Ramble like that.
You talk.
I don't know.
What you gotta get? Look.